What's up, fellas? It's Mark Parson, Cornerback Pro, former NFL cornerback of the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints, and now I'm coaching you guys up. Today, we'll talk about backpedal and we're going to talk about weave. I get a lot of questions talking about how to weave, and this is actually one of the clips. This is amazing because back when I played at Ohio University, I remember Coach David Brown used to show us clips of like teams like LSU and some other coaches, and because coaches usually have relationships with other guys, and I know Bo Pelini and Carl Pelini, who actually coached at Ohio, had a relationship with LSU, because they were brothers and he coached there, right? So we used to get some of their clips. So I remember watching these guys. So I think these guys, this film was actually when I played, and that was back in 2006 to 2009. So this is actually pretty old film. So, but it's pretty cool watching because these guys were good. They're really good. So I want you to see what we saw back then. Okay, make sure you guys email me if you have any questions. I'm catching up on the emails. I'm getting back to that. Sometime lately, I've been so busy, so it's been taking me a couple days to get at it. But I'm reaching back out to you fellas. All right, cornerbackpro@gmail.com. Ask for the one-on-one mastery program because you will be elite once you master those techniques. You will be able to cover basically anybody. Technique is the way. Of course, I want you guys to be explosive, be fast, live in the weight room, get awesome grades, all of that great stuff. That's going to put you at the next level. Don't get it twisted. Technique, you may not be the biggest guy. You may not be the fastest guy, but when you got technique, man, you can really cover anybody. Real talk. All right, fellas, I'll include everything else in there. Mind and body training, catching series, all that good stuff. All right, let's get to it. So back pedals, LSU. Keep an eye on 21. I like 21. And I'll show a couple clips in another video of them in action. But 21, he ended up going to the NFL. He was good. All right. So first thing, make sure your stance is nice, right? Make sure if you're a cornerback, you're gonna have your outside foot up, fellas. If you're a left corner, you're gonna have your left foot up. And let's say you're playing off man or zone, whatever it is. Uh, left foot up on the left side, right foot up on the right side. Shoulders gonna be over your toes. It's gonna be a nice, comfortable, low stance. Sometimes, you know, I remember Prime taught us to touch the ground, just remind ourselves to stay low. You don't have to necessarily do that, but I recommend it. So let's watch these guys. Look at this, nice, comfortable stance. Look at their arm movement. That's one of the things I was like, I gotta show my guys this, because some coaches don't say anything, but obviously whoever the DB coach was at LSU back then, he was legit, man. Um, let's watch it again. So when I say arm movement, you ever watch a guy, and I talk about it, I made videos about how to backpedal. We ever seen a guy with like really tight arms where it's like they're backpedaling, but they're not moving their arms at all? And I always say, look, do you run forward like that? Everything needs to be a fluid motion, man. And there's a reason why. Before I get into that part, the reason why. So when you backpedal, one of the most important things of a backpedal is to do what? To be able to break forward. And when it's time to break, you have fluid arms and you're cycling your arms. Let's say you break right here. When you get into the habit, you cycle your arms. That's going to make your break that much faster. So I talk about tucking your chin when you break, cycling your arms, and obviously, there's a way to work on your break, and I included that in the one-on-one mastery. I call it the box break drill. Do that 5 minutes a day in your dorm room or in your bedroom. You will be nice with the breaks. It'll be second nature to just get out of a break on a curl route or any type of route that you're breaking on. All right. So they have certain things where they're working on tempo. See, look. So your back pedal. So depending on the receiver, because some receivers try to lull you to sleep and then they turn it on, right? They're talking about speed. So he's teaching them how to tempo their back pedal. So right here, tempo it, back. So it's not all about a super fast back pedal, fellas. I tell this story all the time. I tell the story when I was playing Little League football, and I get it. Some youth coaches just are parents and they just want to help out in the community, and that's awesome. But I remember he came to us and he said, hey, if you can backpedal 20 yards in 2 seconds. You gonna play in the NFL? And I remember, I'm a kid, so I believe him. But it's not about a fast backpedal. One of the best cornerbacks that I ever seen play and ever been like on the same team was Jabari Greer. And when he played off man, he was not super fast in the backpedal. Matter of fact, his backpedal was kind of like slower. Now, when he transitioned, when it was time to open up, Joker burst out of the transition and he squeezed immediately. Jabari was probably like 5'9", maybe 180, probably 175, but he was so explosive. And he was very smart. He had a high football IQ and he was quick. But yeah, it's not about a super fast backpedal. So this is a good way to work on your tempo. Look how they're moving their arms. Nice comfortable stance. Be careful with being too wide because you're going to come narrow anyways. Just giving you a heads up. I'm talking about your stance. Be careful with being too wide in your stance because you're going to go narrow. So you don't really want too much wasted movement. And then there's no need to false step in your back pedal. All right. I told you guys I was doing it at Ohio. And Coach Burrow was like, yo. Well, he'd say, yo. He was like, Parson, why do you keep doing it? It was showing up on film. All right. So you want to press off that first foot, the foot that you have in the front. Go ahead and push off of that. Let's watch these guys. See? So there's no false step. Nice smooth back pedal. Excellent job of these guys. You're gonna graze. It's like gonna graze the grass as well. So you're staying low, nice and staying low, shoulders over toes. Excellent job. That looks pretty. Excellent job. Look nice out there too. Got the accessories. Got some wristbands. Got the Nikes on. Got the towel. Make sure you look nice out there. All right. What else? Oh yeah, graze the grass. You're gonna be on the balls of your feet. So you're not gonna be on your tippy toes. You're not gonna be on your heels. Just like the balls of your feet. All right. Ready to break. That's the whole point of backpedaling, so you can stay square and ready to break on a route. Okay. Now let's talk about the weave. Coach Parson. Coach Parson, can you please show us about weave? Can you make a video about weave? All right, fellas, I'm gonna get to you. All right, perfect. You get to see it. You get to see Division 1A football players, top team. But back then, they were, I don't know what they ranked back then, but they were definitely top 5, top 10 back then. Talking about LSU. Killing cats, dude. Killing them. I'm talking about like 42 points like it was nothing. 42-0. So I like the drills that they were doing at LSU. Notice that they're not, let me see that guy. See the guy at the top. Okay. He looked better on it, I would say. It could be the camera angle. Just want to make sure that when you're weaving, you continue to stay square. Okay? So you're staying square. So they start over here. Start right here. Look at this. You see how they're covering ground? They're covering ground in their back pedal. They're covering ground in their back pedal without turning their butt this way. They're staying square. That's a weave. So everything's still smooth. You're still covering ground, but you're not turning your butt all the way that way. Now you'd be surprised how many high school coaches, and I'm telling you this because this is what I was taught in high school. I was taught, like, they told us to turn, like when we were doing weaving drills, they told us to turn our butt this way, and if we were to do a drill, turn your butt that way. That's not how you do it. This is how you weave. This is how you weave, fellas. See this? So, Coach Parson, when would I actually weave? Okay, let me see if I can show you right here. Let me see what they do on this drill. Nice stance. See that? That's the drill I was talking about. But what I was getting coached when in high school, they would tell us to turn our whole butt. But you see the top coaches, guys are staying square. All right. Now, so right here, I'm gonna take you to the beginning of this. There are certain routes. Let's say this is the receiver. Obviously, you're probably going to be at least 7 to 9 yards off playing off man. All right. When would you weave? Like, when is that useful to you? Or how is it useful? When this guy right here, let's say ball's right here, ball's inside, not right here, it's kind of close. Ball's inside, you're playing off 7 to 9 yards, and he wants to run a post or a dig, or a curl, an inside breaking route. What do you think he really has to do? Do you think he's going to just run right here and then try to come back in here? Well, he could if he gives you a nice head fake, possibly. But if you're good, you stay inside leverage. Let's say you start inside leverage. That's going to be tough for him to complete this pass. It's possible pick. So what he's going to try to do, or he's going to work on doing, I don't like saying try, I just don't like it. What he's going to work on doing is he's going to work on crossing your face and beating your inside leverage. So if he beats your inside, let's say you just backpedal straight, right? Instead of weaving. He starts out here and he comes over here. He stems you. It's called stemming. So they stem you inside, right? And then he makes his cut, he makes his break. Even if you're on his back, all right, so he beats your inside leverage. A good quarterback, throw it low, inside, he can still complete that pass, right? So it's a higher percentage of a completion for him to cross your face, to beat your leverage. Your goal is to try to protect that leverage without turning your butt, because that causes separation. You don't want to cause more separation, right? So you want to stay square, so when it's time to break or open up, you're ready. All right, fellas? That's why you want to stay low. You want to get out of that break. You want to protect your leverage, and you don't want to turn your butt. This is the correct weave. This is what it's for. Let's say he does, especially if he attacks you immediately, if he comes at you hard, try to beat that inside leverage. And there's a certain route called a circus route where they come directly right there and then get upfield, then they'll bring it back outside. Okay? So I want to explain that, and it was great. I'm glad I'm able to find this, because this is the same stuff I was watching in college at Ohio. So if you're in high school, man, you are ahead of the game. I promise you. Just by this. Just by knowing this. Stay square. Move your arms. I would like more arm movement out of him. It looked like he would, move at your shoulder joint, just like you're running forward. He's better. These probably safeties right here. Safeties usually a lot more tight. Hey, if you're a safety and you can move like a corner, you got a future. You got a future. Understand that. Corners be as smart and physical as a safety. Safety. Be as athletic and smooth when it comes to technique and coming up and playing man. You got a future. Nice, smooth. I like these. These are the corners. I wonder if that's 19. I know it says 8, but I think 8 used to rock 9. I think 19 used to rock 8 in practice. I just forgot the names. I'm going to find out. Let's watch it again, man. Smooth back pedal. Nice and low. Shoulders over toes. All right, fellas? So I know you guys been talking about the weave. You've been asking about it for a while. I'll talk about backpedaling, but these are the basics. But you got to look nice. Really, the goal should look nice, man, because when you look good, you're going to feel good. If you feel good, you're going to play good. And if you play good, they're going to pay good. And that's from Prime Time himself. All right? So every time you step on that field, make sure that you look good, man. Take pride in that. Make sure you're ready. You're prepared. You're hydrated. I cannot stand seeing guys freaking cramp up, man. That's how we were raised, man. It's not okay to cramp up in the game. Preparation starts at the beginning of the week. Hydration, eating the right foods. Make sure you got your uniform ready. Make sure it's nice and clean. All right? Make sure you come out there. You got the right cleats. You got your gloves ready. You prepared. You watch 4 hours of film every day, 2 to 4 hours, 2 maybe for high school guys, 4 for college guys. Because I guarantee you, NFL guys are watching way more than that. I'm just telling you. And if that's your goal, you better start acting like it now. Be a pro now, okay, fellas? All right, stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna make another video on the LSU DBs. I'm excited for you, man. Keep the testimonials coming. That gives me energy. All right. Email me at cornerbackpro@gmail.com. Again, get the 101 mastery program. Ask me for that, and let's move forward, man. Ball out, fellas. Peace.